Some of the national team players back in terms of your preparation for this weekend, does it help to, I guess, at least have like a day with most of your players in?
Yeah, it's been great to have more players back. We'll have a couple more obviously join us once we get into Orlando. Yeah, we got caught off guard with more people in the building. We needed to get some extra snacks, some fruit, cantaloupe in there, keep these guys recharged and get on the pitch, remind us of some things, have some fun, smile and get off, start recovering, ready for travel tomorrow.
In terms of getting starting the season strong, I talked a little bit on Tuesday with you about sort of last season, but Megan Klingberg was saying that she felt you guys lost the Shield last year in the first 2 months of the season. How important is it to not only put in good performances, but try to find ways to get results early, especially when you're sort of at full strength? Yeah,
and I agree that the first third of the season wasn't good enough. We were a penalty kick away from having the best start that we've had when we were 2 wins and a loss, and then we tied Spirit. We could, there could have been 3 wins and 1 loss. That would have been a great start. And then we started stumbling after, and that stumble came around the same time of brand new players. We were missing 8, 9, 10 players, and then as they started trickling in, that's when we stumbled. Because as we find out, every team has talent. Talent isn't what wins you games or wins your championship in this league. A team wins you those things, and we took a few extra weeks to get everyone integrated and figure things back out. And it's a big lesson because that's what the challenges this year show, that people are going to be in and out. So yeah, I hope that we can get off to a good start in the way that we perform and results into some good points early. And look, if our performances aren't the thing we can control, aren't the level that we need to, then we've got more work to do. And I'm excited to get this first game rolling. This is a good matchup for us in a tough travel and a tough opponent, but it's a good matchup. And for us to be Thorns, to get out and try to get off to a good start with good performances, with good energy and good mentality, this is an exciting one to get going.
Yeah, and that's kind of the challenge of having to be the coach, is to get that revolving door and to get an early jump.
Yeah, and when we spoke this morning before training, this afternoon before training, we've got players in this club that have been here and been going through this. And while you've been going through it and you have experience, you still have to sometimes recap what's worked and what hasn't worked. Individuals and players. As staff, we're always trying to learn and trying to make the transition smoother. But players, regards to the trust in them and how they handle themselves, it's really high. But we want to just remind them, hey, you know what works and what doesn't work when you're trying to slide back in. Being focused on Thorns, being focused on Thorns' identity and Thorns' mentality and things that we do. Yeah, it's a short turnaround to get back to that. And yeah, if we haven't switched on back to Thorns, I'm sure the first 10 minutes will be a nice wake up.
In terms of starting the season on the road, have you made any decisions around travel plans specifically to make it easier to deal with that? Obviously, I know that you're not coming back between game 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's fortunate being here, the way that the club supports the team, the way it should be, and an elite athlete should be treated. There'll be 2 long trips in the full season. This one playing Sunday, then Saturday. It makes sense to stay on the road and take off. I think it worked out being 10 to 16,000 miles less by staying on the road, not coming back in flying. Then there'll be another one where it'll be a Saturday to Saturday, but it's East Coast. I think it's the Orlando, Washington back-to-back games, I think, because they're both on the East Coast. It makes sense, even though it's a 7-day turnaround, which is enough time to get back, to cut off another 15 to 20,000, whatever it is, 20,000 miles off being in an aeroplane. And that all comes at a cost, and we're very fortunate, we're privileged to be a club where Merritt and Gavin feel that putting this team and their bodies and their health and their performance at the top priority supports, and also leaves us with no excuses. It's not an advantage because we are doing that. We have to use that to be an advantage. We have to make the most of it. And the way we took care of each other on the road last year was very good, resulted in good performance, resulted in good points. We had good points on the road. We have some new challenges this year with the start, so we have to take that in our stride and find marginal gains to be at max peak performance.